Hey everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. Living in my car for 2 years now, and coming up in a few days, a day short of Thanksgiving, or maybe because the calendar each year moves differently, it'll be a year since I relapsed with depersonalization derealization disorder, and I still struggle with it because every new set of stimuli or every new kind of sensory experience can kick up all these things, these unresolved issues, and give me compulsive racing thoughts and dissociative feelings. It's horrible. But overall, the trend is better. I'm much, much better than I was when I relapsed. It was just horrific. Couldn't even sleep much. I was having sleep paralysis for the first time in my life where I'd wake up like this, like I couldn't move for a few seconds. And also just barely sleeping. I finally just getting into the, day-to-day course of my job. So far, it looks like I'm lucky. I'm able to work 6 days a week, just because I'm asking to. I'm saying, hey, it's going to be my day off tomorrow, but can I come in anyways? And this is my second full week working there, and they're like, yeah, sure. I don't know, maybe the only reason they have people work 5 days is they think people don't want to work 6 days. And it's not quite 8-hour days, too. It depends how busy we are. So it can be like 6 to 7 hours. I work in a warehouse. I shower at 1 in the morning in the street, in the cold, with water bottles. There's no way I'm missing my shower. I'll feel so nasty if I don't. And going to work around 2:30 usually in the morning. So I kind of like that schedule, and actually showering that early in the morning, it's kind of better than doing it later, like 4:30 when I was doing it before, because it's usually a little warmer then. And I've been doing the math and realizing I need to work as much as possible. I need to save as much as possible, not pay rent if I can help it, because the money will go out so fast then. And I need to save my money for film gear. I must do it. And December, we're getting to work 6 days a week as a standard, so I'm gonna see if I can work 7. I don't care. I'll work every single day. Physically, it's nothing for me. I actually got to work out harder in the morning now. I've been a little bit lazy with that. I want to work out harder because it's not the same workout at the job. A lot of stuff I lift is not even that heavy, thank goodness. Deal with the same inane issues of people belittling me. I swear I had the most surreal kind of experience to this guy. It was like Napoleon Dynamite or something, like, hey, but it's over there. Why'd you do that? When I was going out of my way to help someone, and then he kind of berated me. And it's like, I'm not sure. I don't know. It just kind of seems like the guy's checked out of being there. Whatever. Doesn't even matter. Because here's the thing. Once I'm done with this job, it may be a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, I want to make a bunch of money. I'll forget all about this stuff. It's not my life. Oh, that's my life. Speaking of that, okay, so here's what gets into the issue. The predicament I was in at work today because I'm homeless. And nobody knows I'm homeless. I don't want them to know. I don't care. I don't need to. I just want to go into work, do my job. But today they announced they were having some raffle, which automatically I don't do raffles at work. I think that's a bum move. If you're a corporation, as this place is, with a bunch of locations, you can give bonuses if you want. I do not perform in raffles or games or competitions for a treat like a trained circus animal. So right away it was degrading, the idea of doing it. But the other issue was, so there were actually two issues at play because I live in my car. So one, I had my lunch break, and I was debating whether I gotta take a dump or not. I wanted to yesterday, but by the time I sort of wanted to, the place I go to do it is like 8 miles away, where they have porta potties where like pretty much nobody bothers me. Because I can't help it. I take dumps for long amounts of time. It just takes a while to get it all out of me. Yesterday I didn't end up doing it. I was like, oh, I'll try and get into work early, or I'll see if I can hold it till after work tomorrow. like 15 minutes into my 30-minute lunch break, I'm like, I gotta do it. So I walk in, check the bathroom, the one with multiple stalls. They are disgusting. I can't believe how my coworkers have trashed these. I'm like, there's no way I'm sitting on here. I go out, I walk past where they're holding the raffle. I'm like, I'm not even trying to look. And manager says, hey, Angelo. I'm like, what? I said, yes. He's like, we got a raffle. I said, hold on, let me use the bathroom. And so I had to go to another bathroom in a whole different part of the building that was probably going to be cleaner, and it was. And so 2 things happened. One, I missed the raffle anyways because I had to take a dump for the last 15 minutes of work, and I was really straining to get... I nearly passed out, for real. If you, like, strain hard and hold your breath, I don't know how to strain hard and breathe. I nearly blacked out. But I was fine. So I missed the raffle. For one thing, due to colonic issues, but also a colon malfunction. No, it was functioning fine, just a little slow. But the other thing is, it looked like one of the items they were raffling away were a bunch of honey glazed hams. They were wrapped up. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with that? I don't have a refrigerator. I wouldn't even say, like, I'm homeless. I would just say, if it came to it, I would say, no, I can't take one. I don't have a refrigerator. But what am I going to do with a honey glazed ham? I don't eat that shit. I don't eat unhealthy stuff like that. I don't eat donuts or anything. I did cheat and have a bunch of popcorn with pumpkin spice drizzled on top, but that's it. Other than that, pretty healthy. And I have no way to use that. And so... potentially could look like, I didn't want to be a team player and participate, which, first of all, I didn't. But I didn't have a choice because I had to take a dump, and I have no refrigerator. So it's a funny thing, being paid so low, and granted, I've just started the job, so even if I was paid $1,000 a week, actually $1,000 a week, I might have been able to at least put a deposit on this place that I'm looking at, sort of a co-op that's really cheap. But there was no way I could even take it. What would I do with a honey glazed ham? Or even if it was a food I wanted. Say it was like one of those cooked chickens. They have at grocery stores that you can get and just heat up at home and cut up. But they're already cooked. Or you can just get them from the grocery store. As long as you eat them soon, they're still hot. Well, that's different because you don't have to refrigerate it. But what am I going to do with it? And it's so degrading, the idea of, and people were lined up to get this stuff. I wish nobody participated. I can't tolerate, it makes me, I can't stomach the idea of competing like I'm a trained SEAL for a little extra treat, like the CEO or whoever of the company just tossed out a few coins on the street, like, here, enjoy my largesse, like some 19th century, rich corporate, were they officially corporations back then? But whatever. Like some, railroad tycoon or something. Like, here you go, you peasants. Enjoy that. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. A 10-cent piece. I'll be able to get some ham with this. It was just stomach churning. I can't take it. And all I could do is just keep working and try and tune out everything else around me because I need the money in a way. And I'm just trying to save as quickly as possible. I'll do it better than anyone. Like, I'll work more hours if possible. I'll do it in harder circumstances. Like, to me, it's like you're kind of like schmucks in a way who have homes who are like, oh, why are you homeless? You're not good at it. I'm doing it in a way you could never do it for most of you. You would never want to be showering out in 40-some degree weather or less with drunks screaming around you, stalking you too. There was some guy I can't stand, these guys annoy me so much, who were just walking around like, he was literally walking around a parking lot I was sleeping in, and there were a couple other cars parked next to me where I was sleeping, and they were sleeping too. And he's walking behind him. He's got a sweatshirt wrapped around his head, almost like sort of like Matt Damon in Jerry. And he just stops there and looks around, like between the cars, And I was already brushing my teeth by this point, or whatever, getting dressed. I was up. So I'm looking at him like kind of annoyed, and I had the light on here, so it was obvious I was up. I looked at him, and he just walked between the cars and walked off. Like, I can't imagine how you get to that point in life. And it's not all condemnation. It's like just marveling at how lost someone can be. I mean, we've all been lost in a way, but also it's just, oh boy, it's just disgusting and sort of creepy to deal with. And that's on top of the people who just scream and screech at the top of their lungs all throughout the night. But he just stalked away, sort of. Stalked off, and it's like, where the fuck is he going? What kind of life is that, to be stumbling around a shopping center parking lot at 1 in the morning? But I'm doing this in a way most of you couldn't. And I'm glad to. I don't even care for the most part. The only thing that bothers me more than anything is, well, one, the degradingly low pay to where people are eager for treats. I say don't give out any treats or any competitions and just compensate people well. But also, the fact that I'm still dissociating, and this job seems to have kicked up more of these sensations that are gradually calming down for me, but it's scary and frightening, and it messes me up, and it makes certain emotions inaccessible, and I feel like I'm almost like dissociating into another person. It's so scary. Like compulsive racing thoughts, and it's just disturbing. Like, I can't enjoy any simple like sensations, like literally just being myself, being in a place, thinking of things that I like. Can't even do it. It's, I don't know, it's like this weird unraveling, but it takes time. I guess with each new experience it does that, and then I sort of calm down. It's like the dust settles again and hopefully becomes a little bit more firm, and I'm not so prone to dissociating again. But it's been a fucking year and of it, and I keep doing all the right steps supposedly, but they don't help. Maybe they don't hurt, but they're not helping. Like getting up early, exercising, being active, body relaxation techniques, being engaged in hobbies you like as much as it's possible. My mind, certain times, it's just like movies and stories and emotions, they're not accessible to me. And it's not just that I'm numb, which is terrifying in itself, but it's like, it almost feels like a bike chain is like grinding away on me. Each time I try and reach more for, I can't. The bike chain tenses up, or like a spike chain, and clenches down on me. Somehow my mind produces that kind of image. It's scary, but what can I do? Just keep going through a way. It's only my 4th bout of it, and they last for about a year at a time. And now this is going, I've never, well, no, I was about to say I've never had one last longer than a year. That's not true. My first one lasted about 14 months, and that was the worst terror in many ways that I've ever gone through. Even worse than, in a way, than the 3rd bout I had, where I was disabled. The first time I wasn't, at least I wasn't disabled, even though I was verging on that point, and it was getting very hard to function. But in 2012 to 13, I was just disabled 9 months. I could barely communicate clearly with others because I was so fixated on the like bizarre amounts of pain I was in, even though nothing physically was wrong with me. I couldn't drive. I couldn't sleep often for more than 45 minutes a night. I could barely sit up because I was compulsively pacing a lot. All kinds of horrific, it felt like knives were in me all the time. I was desperate to get out of that pain I was in. And I still feel this clenching down on my chest and numbness and strange sensations. But anyways, point is, that was a weird bind I was in. And like I said, I'm not a victim because of it. I'm trying to do it better than anyone else could. By just keeping going and continuing to do it. Oh, and another contractor with our warehouse looks like they got the Trump virus, so that's 2 in like 3 days. Finally, more of them started wearing masks after I complained about it to 3 different people. Some still do not wear masks, and so therefore could spread it. Oh, excuse me, more easily than anyone else. Masks aren't, perfect, and a lot of people don't wear them properly, wear them below the nose. It's utterly absurd to me. I wear a mask and face shield, and some people do wear face shields now too. But it's just a weird bind, and that's hardly the worst thing. It's actually interesting to me. I kind of enjoy it, and that I'm not going to lose my integrity or give in to some competition like flinging out breadcrumbs to people and like a little like shiny prizes to get them distracted from the fact that you don't pay enough to really live decently. If someone has any more than the most basic bills, they can't really live decently on what we're making, and we're part-time employees. So if you have not just rent, because that alone, and car insurance, which you pretty much need to get around here, and a cell phone bill, internet bill, that alone right there is a huge amount of what you'd be making a month. But on top of that, if you have a car payment, that right there is huge. If you have credit card bills, that's huge. Student loans, if you have children, huge right there. If you're a single parent, I can't imagine how you do it. You'd probably have to work 2 jobs or have some other source of income. So, and of course I get Medi-Cal too, free medical insurance, because I make such little money. And I finally had a phone appointment yesterday, and so it looks, hopefully I'll be able to get a physical soon where they can do blood work. Just because I haven't had one in a while. Hopefully everything's fine. I've lost weight. I'm trying to eat super healthy. Not always entirely successful. Not because I'm really indulging, but because I can't afford healthy foods all the time. So I'm reduced to getting stuff like this at the food bank, which, yeah, I mean, it's seeds and it's low sugar, very low sugar. This, no sugar. But it's sort of a challenge, you know, getting the balance of vitamins and fiber and everything that I need, and keeping the sugar down in processed foods. So anyways, that's a weird little dilemma that comes up when you're homeless. I'm not going out of my way to seem like I'm not a team player, but there's no way I could have accepted that gift, or that raffle, nor would I have wanted to if I could, because I just cannot do it. My makeup is that I cannot try and get a prize like that from an employer. If you're an employer, you're not a carnival that gives out prizes. You're an employer. You should compensate people.